Good evening, viewers. Welcome back to HellenicTV and Table for Two. I'm James Neophytou and I'm here with Alexios Gennaris, and we are dressed Christmassy this time.
As Christmassy as possible.
We don't really do Christmas jumpers here, so we've all red today in honour for the Christmas episode. So you're very welcome. Alex, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, James.
We're going to cover our standard agenda today. We'll talk about charitable work in Sierra Leone. Special mention this time in terms of the seasonal aspects of mentoring and mental health, and then we'll get into our community events leading up to Christmas. Loads of those happening. Alex, kick us off.
We'll start off with our mugs.
Who's sponsoring us today?
Well, we haven't got a sponsor. Actually, we have kind of got a sponsor as such, but the reason we have these mugs today is so we can give a massive shout out to the Wood Green sorting office, the post office.
Thank you, Wood Green sorting office.
Because they actually had them in the van, and they had ringing. The one guy was ringing the other guy to say wait for me to go and get us. Anyway, if it wasn't for these two really nice postmen, we wouldn't have had our mugs for today's Christmas show. They're not very Christmassy, and you'll see as the show progresses, the photos will fade because it's a magic mug.
It's the heat. Okay, so the heat brings the image. And the image is Alex and James.
Yeah, you go.
I'm going to give this one to my mum.
And I'll give this to my mum, and she'll think, who's that guy there?
Anyway, cheers.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Thank you, James.
Cheers, viewers. Lovely. Let's go.
Now, Sierra Leone. The first bit of news for Sierra Leone is we had a massive donation of equipment for a shoe mender, a shoemaker. In Sierra Leone. This guy has twin daughters. Right. Their mother died at giving birth to them.
Wow.
So this guy's been bringing up his two daughters.
Wow.
One of them ended up with the physical disability. She's got stunted growth, but she's such a confident girl, even though she's had problems in her life. So what we did was we got together with some shoe repairers, shoe menders, and makers, and there's three companies: Matthews Shoe Repairers, there's Buckles and Brogues, and there's Leather and Grindery. Leather and Grindery, they supply a lot of the equipment for the other two.
Right.
So they gave me a massive boxes actually of equipment. So this guy now will be able to support his daughters. He'll have his own business literally. So that's thanks to them. Now the other big news is we have a Christmas envelope appeal at the moment. There'll be a QR code behind us at any moment now. Now 3 or 4 years ago, what I did in Sierra Leone, I gave about 15 children from the Zinc House kids a Christmas envelope. So it was the equivalent of 3 days' wages for them. It was £5 for us. Then the year after, 15 turned to 30, then 30 turned to just over 100, and this year we've got about 150 children. Each will receive that Christmas envelope. Now this will be the only present most of them will receive on Christmas Day. And it's not just the Orthodox Christian children, it's also the Muslim children. You can't really...
Well, Christ was a prophet in Islam.
I
say that to my Muslim students today when they don't want to say the Lord's Prayer. But I say to them, well, Christ was a prophet in your religion. So anyway,
so everyone's
there's connections.
So everyone will receive this envelope. So that's a wonderful thing there.
All viewers of Tables 2 a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Now, the next bit of you is quite a long story. This back in January 2023, Alexandra and I we had a video conference with two people from Imperial College. There was Dr. Sunday Popoola and a lady called Alison Ahern. She was a construction lawyer who then became an educator.
Right.
Now, we were talking about Sierra Leone, Crew Bay, Waterloo, how they can all be helped. That was in January 2023. About a month and a bit ago, I had a message on the GoFundMe page.
Okay.
Alison has been trying to find me all this time. She's left Imperial College, so she didn't have her email. So she's got a new job. She works for an education charity. Now she's taken this design, there's a design project that started off by NASA for a space design. She's taken it into cities now. So what her idea was to take one of the areas, Crew Bay.
Yes.
It's a shanty town, slum area of Sierra Leone, Freetown, and she's given UK schools a project of regenerating basically this area. It's a virtual project. It's a challenge. Now she's gone one better. She's actually got together with a school in Barbados and given them the role of trying to find solutions to Crew Bay. That's going to be December the 9th. It's a one-day project. It's a one-day challenge, should I say. I'll be one of the advisors, obviously, when it comes to Crew Bay. I think I might be one of the judges as well. So these students now will be using the information that Alison took from me on Crew Bay. Because I mentioned at one point it needs that support, it needs that help.
Yes.
So imagine all these teenagers, and then they go on to their degrees, and they go on to become politicians or ambassadors or something big, and then they remember their project on Crew Bay.
Amazing.
Because that'd be brilliant. Amazing. So I can't wait for that to happen. So I think that's about the news on Sierra Leone. But the Christmas envelope appeal is the biggie amongst all that.
Okay.
Okay, James. Now.
Good.
Now we've got the Christmas break coming up, obviously, for university students, even for secondary students.
Yep.
How do your secondary students, do they just enjoy that time?
We don't always know. Some find it a bit lonely. They like the activity and the routine of school. It's obviously good to have a break, but I know that the safeguarding team often mentions that it's a difficult time for some people.
Okay.
So we need to keep an eye out a little bit. Yeah.
And that's probably quite hidden as well.
That's
you don't
true,
really
absolutely.
know it's happening. Same with the university students. We've mentioned before, students during the summer months, summer breaks, Easter breaks, that long period away from their studies can throw them. Their schedule goes out the window. Then you've got the loneliness again. Some of them might be students from abroad, students from other cities, students who have come from broken homes, and they're now left alone at Christmas when they see everyone else going off to their families, and they don't have that. So I think people should really just reach out. Just think about these people.
Ask a question.
Even neighbours. You know, if you've got an elderly neighbour or just a neighbour who's living on their own, just knock on their door. Christmas Day, Boxing Day, check those. See how they are. I'm sure your mum's going to have lots of food left over as well.
I remember during COVID, my father-in-law used to go to the tube station, collect all the unused Metro newspapers, and then go around to old people and hand them the newspapers. A, just to check up on them. B, so they could read what's going on in them, because you weren't allowed out. You were allowed once a day. So that kind of activity, connecting with the community, connecting with even with people that you don't know very well. Just to look out, it helps.
And that's important, very, very important. I never knew that about your father.
No,
he's such a quiet man as well.
And we say that often about our church as well. There's some conversations that happen, the elderly, maybe it's the only time they speak to someone during the week. They might have a carer come to see them. And on Sundays, they get to see 100 people that they've known for 30 years. It's the only time. So, absolutely.
Well, when I used to do assessments of students at the university level, I could always tell those who lived alone or lived a single parent with young babies or children, because all of a sudden they would talk because they never had the opportunity that morning or the day before. So that's quite important. Now there's some mentoring tools I was going to obviously talk about as well today that I used to use in the days when I had loads of students. Now, there's the confidence circle, first of all. Now, all this will be popping up behind us, obviously. Now, with the confidence circle, it's cut into 6 segments, so divided up. And then there's the circles that get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you get to the end. Now, they're all labelled. So there's confidence. This is for university students, this one. Confidence, stress management, motivation, revision, studies, and R&R time. Now, R&R time is very, very important that you're able to meet that balance. So what the students are asked to do during the first session is to mark where they are in that circle. So for confidence, middle is the lowest, and then the highest is the top one, and so on and so forth. And then you can measure. So if you see that the confidence is low, but the motivation is slightly higher, then you know you can actually help them improve on their confidence, improve on their studies, because the motivation is there. They just need that slightly bigger push. I had one student, a law student, and obviously I won't mention names. And he has schizophrenia, and depression. Now he put where his studies are, he marked it above, outside of the actual circle.
Yeah.
So I said, how come you're above that? And he goes, because I know more than my tutors, than my lecturers. Now that could be part of the schizophrenia, or maybe he just knew a lot. I mean, he went on to a master's. He got he got his degree and got his master's in that. And he was an interesting guy in that he would say that he's a god. And I asked him once, I said, what makes you a god? And he goes, well, I can give life, in that I can get a woman pregnant. I can take life, in that I can stab a man and kill him. I said, but so can I. And he goes,
gods.
We're all gods. And then I said, what happens when you die? And he said, well, I'll be a dead god. So I asked a stupid question, I'll be a dead god.
First god that's mortal.
Yeah. And then one day he said to me, he goes, Alex, people think I'm mad. Do you think I'm mad? I said, well, you make sense to me. Maybe I'm the one who's mad. I really can't answer. I really can't answer your question.
Nice answer,
yeah. Wonderful. And we're still in touch after all these years. We still chat and what have you. So that's the confidence circle. Then there's the progress chart. Now the progress chart, you have a chart. They have numbers 1 to 10, and you, with a student, for example, at school, and you say, look, your maths at the moment, where would you rate it? They might say it's a 7. I said, and then you say, why is it a 7 and not a 6? So look at the positives, rather than why is it 7, not an 8? Not an 8, yeah. So they say, well, I go to class regularly, I do my homework, I study, I revise, and they say, well, how are you going to get from 7 to 8? And they go, well, maybe I'll go to the library more, maybe if I, show my workings and what have you. So you always look at the positives. So that's a progress chart. Very, very useful tool. Once driving with my son Mihaly when we were going to a football match, I think it was probably about 18 at the time, a couple of footballers behind us, and I said to one of them, I said, look, and I said to my son first, do you want to see me do some mentoring on the guy behind? I can't remember his name anyway. He said, yes, Dad. So I said, look, how would you rate your football at the moment? Your performance? He goes, I'm an 8. I go, what makes you an 8 and not a 7? I come to training, I look after my diet, I do this. And so he listed all the things, like just positive, just telling me. And I said, what will make you reach a 9? He goes, if I could do more exercise. Then he goes, and then during the match, if I pass the ball quicker, look up and pass the ball quicker. And then during the match, he did exactly that. Wow. And then his pass got the winning goal. Wow. So even though it was done without paper, you can use these techniques on any, whether it's children, adults, it really does work. And the final tool is the positive and negative chart. This is really, really useful for your students as well, James. So you get them to list their positive attributes and then their negative attributes. Now, someone with depression may have more negative than positives. Someone might, equal, some might just not think of anything at all, and then you have to just help them along. Now, what I would do is I'll take the negatives. Say the student, for example, said, I'm fussy. Yes. And that's a negative. I said, well, then I say, if you're fussy, you're thorough. So that then becomes
you have high standards.
A positive, exactly. So that's how you can use that simple tool just to turn things around. Because what we see as something bad about ourselves actually isn't so bad. So there you go. So they're the main tools that I used to use.
I tried something on my students today actually. So we're on a new system now, and I can see the attendance percentages since the beginning of the year. So maths class, I said it's not about ability; it's just about hard work. Everyone finds maths challenging. It's how much you put into it. So I put up the chart of, from 100% down of attendance, and they're all laughing. And I said, if you're below 95%, that's the trigger point for the score, so you shouldn't be below that. And I said to them, I can probably predict your grades in 2 years' time when you do your GCSEs based on these percentages of attendance. So if you've attended 60% or 70% and you've been out, it's not just attendance, it's participation in class, it's doing your homework, it's going to homework club. I will be able to predict, and then in 2 years' time, let's compare the results with what I'm writing out today. And they're like silence in the room, right? They saw percentages that they couldn't argue with. It's like you're positive. Why are you a 7, not an 8? Why are you an 8, not a 7? Just to spur them on, just to think about, oh, okay, so I'm not brilliant at maths, but if I put the effort in, if I attend, maybe I will improve. It's all psychological.
Is that generally all teachers do that, or is it you because you're a maths teacher?
I don't know. I just like the data that we're getting in this new system. I thought I'd share it with the students. It's quite interesting to know who's 100% attendance.
That's wonderful. Brilliant, James. Okay. Now we have obviously our event news, our local news. I had an interesting trip to a church, St. Ambrosius and St. Stylianos.
Where's that?
In Milton Keynes, or just out of Milton Keynes, but it's classed as Milton Keynes.
Up the M1.
It's it's quite a nice drive. It's before you get to all the roadworks of the M1. So I went there. It was the inaugural visit of His Eminence. So obviously he's never been there before. Wonderful community, very diverse community as well. And it's quite long established,
really?
But little known.
Yeah.
So we went there for that, and then during the Lord's Prayer, I was obviously outside of the Euro, and then I heard Father Gregory Wellington say, now in Creole, Sierra Leonean Creole. So thankfully my phone was in my hand. Pressed the button, and then I read the Lord's Prayer in Sierra Leonean.
They didn't warn you that was going to happen.
There were 9 languages. Wow. For the Lord's Prayer that day.
Wow.
This is how diverse that community is. There were even Albanian. There was a couple of Albanian lads.
4 in St. Mandalay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot.
Yeah.
But 9 is
no. This was really good. So that was that church in Milton Keynes. Really, I mean, very friendly community. We had lunch after with His Eminence and with the committee and what have you. But that was beautiful. Now we had I had a visit to St. Andrew's in Kentish Town, my normal church, and it was Metropolitan Athanasios there. Now, it was just a standard service, nothing major about the service. But at the end of the service, this is that where we learn things now. At the end of the service, 4 men were tonsured. Tonsured.
Tonsure. Meaning?
They became readers. Now, readers is the lower rank of lower rank of the clergy. Right. It gives them the right to read and also to serve in the actual altar. And the tonsure means cutting of hair.
Right.
I've no idea which language that would be in.
All right.
But this is something for us to look up.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was so there were 4, and one of them actually was Father Christian's son.
Okay.
His eldest son, which was really nice to see him there. So that was that. Then we had great Vespers for St. Michael. I went to Holy Cross, obviously, in St. Michael for that in Golders Green.
Nice.
We had Bishop Raphael, who's come all the way from Scotland.
Wow.
He was here, I think he was in London for about a week. So we had the service, this was Vespers now, and then he tonsured another four readers. Okay. So, and then on St. Andrew's Day, which is just passed, 30th of November, some more people were tonsured as readers. So it's getting to be quite a common occurrence in the churches now. And then these people will go on to serve the church in other ways. They can go on to become subdeacons, deacons, even priests. So this is His Eminence's way of bringing people in to the church. They're all ages. You can imagine Father Christian's son is there. And then you have a guy there who's probably our sort of age, 45.
Yes.
So he was there. So that was that. So that was a real
early middle age.
Yeah, we get. Now, also, I went to St. Raphael in Enfield. It's a tiny church in the middle of a cemetery, but they've got big plans for it. They've actually built this marquee next to the church, and when the church is full up for feast days, they have a TV screen showing the service in there, and also after the service, everyone goes there for a cup of coffee, a tea, and a chat, which is this is a beautiful touch as well. So that's that. Now, also whilst I was there, Father Bavlas, who can I read the Lord's Prayer in Sierra Leonean Creole. He said yes straight away. Such a lovely man. He said yes. So I read it out in Sierra Leonean Creole.
Now you want grandma God make all my prayer to you and honor you. With the prayer make you rule with, make waiting you won't be, not this world, like how it there, be not even. Give you waiting before it there, sudden, before the bad thing. Then when we don't do, like how we serve the pardon then people, where they do we bad, make we no let for we live upon you anytime. We certain cry we, no make certain able we.
And Father Costandino, who was formerly of St. Andrew's in Kentish Town, he was there. And then he was talking about the gospel reading, about the neighbour. What makes you a neighbour? Yeah. And then he said, to be a good person, to help others. And then he pointed to me and he goes, we have with us Alexios, who helps Sierra Leone. Wow. And it touched my heart, the fact he remembered that and he mentioned it to everyone. Nice. So it was really beautiful that he managed to combine the service with the Lord's Prayer being read in Creole and then me standing there in front of him.
Good.
Yeah, he is a wonderful
confidence,
man.
yes.
Yeah. So that's basically the church. There's very little church news other
That's
than
fine.
events other than that. But
usual events.
But I'm going to turn over the sheet because we've got a lot to go through
Go
here
on
now, James. How much time have we got?
10 minutes.
We've got 10 minutes. All right, good. Now, because you might be involved in a couple of these actually. Now, Sunday.
Can I just pause you there? 'Cause I like the way the cup is now going colder because you can't see the top of my head now. You can just above my glasses.
It's quite. I'm not sure if they can see that.
So when it gets colder,
so it's just nighttime drawing in. That's what it is. Okay.
Back to your paper, Alex. Sorry.
Now, our list.
Your list.
We have on
events coming up over the Christmas period.
All this information is online, is on the Theadira website, is on the specific churches' Facebook pages as well. So anyone can find this information online, but there will be posters popping up behind us.
Very good.
Which we're not responsible for the posters in case they're not too clear. Now, Sunday the 8th.
Yes.
There's loads of events, but the three we have here. Now, Banaya in Wood Green has a cake sale after the service. That's arranged by the Philoptochos. St. Bandeleimon, you were saying has a...
We have a Christmas bazaar.
What's a Christmas bazaar?
Well, again, people bring in things to sell, sweets, just a way of collecting money for the community and getting together just before Christmas.
Yeah, wonderful. And then Eleni from Asteragia, she has her Christmas concert and fair.
Lovely.
It's at Winchmore School. That's between 3 and 5 in the afternoon.
On the same day?
On the same day as the rest.
8th of December.
Yeah. Right. So she always obviously holds these amazing events. Lots of music, arts and crafts as usual, dancing, singing, movement. So the kids and the parents obviously have a great old time. And it's at Winchmore School this year.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Friday the 13th is Mosaic Choir. Now, 7 p.m. they'll be at Corpus Christi Catholic Church in Maiden Lane. Now, all this information once again is online. You've heard the Mosaic Choir, haven't you?
I think we sing with them once in Saint Sophia.
Last year.
Yeah, I've certainly seen Mosaic in concert as well. Yeah.
So they'll sing in different languages.
Right.
So it's not just English, not just Greek, but there's a whole array of languages there.
Yeah.
And they're all very, very talented singers as well. So that's Mosaic Choir. Now, on Saturday the 14th we have Koti. Now we've mentioned Koti before. It's a youth group for the Theadira. Yeah. So they have their Christmas party. That'll be at Theadira House. That's for 18 to 35-year-olds. So we've just kind of missed out on that. I think by a few years. I'm not sure how many.
Sounds like a holiday club.
18 to 35. I usually get in just so I can go with my camera, to be honest, but I think I might give it a miss this year. And that's between 4 in the afternoon and 8 in the evening, okay? Because it's...
that's right.
Yeah. So that's... But they always have amazing events. And most people come in their Christmas jumpers. And as we don't own them, we won't be there. Yeah. Now, Thursday the 19th, it's a great and mighty wonder at Hagia Sophia. It's the Christmas concert they have yearly.
Yes.
Are you going to be there for that one?
I'll be there with the School of Byzantine Music. We've gone into rehearsals. So we will be chanting at that. And there are some other singers and other choirs singing at that event as well.
Will you be singing any traditional carols?
Greek ones, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sure last year there was an English one.
Well,
at the end, everyone had to join in.
I think the choirs then combine and sing on stage at the end. Not on stage at St. Sophia, I mean in front of the church. And His Eminence does enjoy that one very much.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll be there for that one as well. So that's a great and mighty wonder. Now, on Sunday 22nd, there's a Christmas open house at Theadira House, 7 p.m. So anyone's allowed to go along. There'll be little snacks and things and teas and coffees and drinks. His Eminence obviously will be there.
I think we might be singing at that one as well, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Because
is that the same weekend as the Mighty Wonder thing?
It's the Sunday. Yeah, the Mighty Wonder's on a Thursday. This one's on a Sunday.
Yep.
Okay.
I think this year there'll be 4 nights. I think Father Joseph wanted to combine all the concerts into one block. So I think we're chanting and singing 19th, 20th, 21st and 22nd, rather than spread out over December. So I think he did mention the Archdiocese as well. So we may be there for that one as well.
Do you know what you'll be singing?
No, we're in rehearsals, so we're just learning it now.
Will it be with the instruments though? Again, the accordion,
for some of them,
and the guitar.
There'll be a flute, there'll be a clarinet. There may be a bass.
Who's playing those now?
Maria Brogor Bill plays clarinet.
Oh, that's all right. She kept that quiet, didn't she?
No, she did perform one year.
Oh, did she? Okay. Oh, wonderful. I'm going to I'll be coming on for that. Now, Saturday the 28th is Coventry's Dinner and Dance. That'll be at the Neophytou Hall. So that'll be up in Coventry Way, very, very far from us. That's a 6 p.m. event. It's well worth going to. I mean, anyone in that area, obviously. If I could make it, I would. 6 p.m., 2.5 hours from London.
It's a nice time in between Christmas and New Year as well, 28th.
Yeah. And they always hold good events. I mean, they're very hospitable, as we said before, up in Coventry. And I'm waiting for my tickets to come through after that. Thanks, Alex.
The roads tend to be quiet at that time as well. 28th,
Now, Monday the 6th of January, so we're going way ahead now, is Theophany at St. Haralambos in East Hyde, near Luton. Now, the reason I'm promoting this one is because obviously I'm going to be there. It'll be a Monday. But also, Father David cleverly invited me about a month or so ago. So I've said yes to him, therefore I won't go anywhere else because I have said so. And they always bring the local MP as well.
Nice.
It's like a little stream, a little brook or something nearby. We all walk there and have the service there.
Good.
And it's all, I mean, once again, they're very hospitable there. Oh, look, James, we vanished. Okay, look at that. Okay.
We need to fill them up again with new hot
drinks. I know, we need to Now, the last thing on the agenda is the Monday Club at Christ the Saviour in Welling, Kent. Now, it's a week. They have weekly workshops. They have Greek dancing, cookery, gardening. They have special classes, so how to make brosfor and what have you. So it's that's all the way down in Welling in Kent.
When is that one?
That's every Monday. It's called the Monday Club.
Wow!
So it's a weekly thing.
Very good.
Yeah, they've been going for a while with that, and it's a popular thing. And once again, it brings people together in the community. Even it's just for cookery, to learn, even though you might know the dishes, you're actually cooking with somebody else. You can share your own experiences. So that's a very, very positive thing to do, just to go along to that.
It was nice that the choir of the Byzantine School visited these various other churches that we'd not been to before, and the welcome was just astounding.
I know.
Like, people were just so thrilled.
I know. Wait until you go Essex Monastery. Have you been with the choir?
No, not with the choir.
Yeah,
not with the choir.
Yeah, that
might happen one day.
They love anyone coming to visit them, especially if it's a choir as well. Yeah. Let me know. I'll come with my camera.
Okay, right.
Okay, James.
Are we done? Good.
That's it. Yeah, that's the whole list done.
Well, I think we wish our viewers a very Merry Christmas.
Definitely.
Happy New Year, and see you again for the next episode. Happy season.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.